Hey everyone, Mac is back. Today we're going to discuss the checklist for the Zero Castle and the amount of troops that you can, the max amount of troops that you need if you want to be a Zero Castle. Many of us are probably in that direction. Some of us are kind of over that, and then I think quite a few of us maybe are still pushing in that direction to get to that maximum amount of troops that you're trying to get for the Zero Castle. So you can actually zero out your castle with no problem. So I'm going to show you or use my own castle as an example today of how many troops I need or how many troops I can max out before you know, I wouldn't be able to zero my castle out. So I just want to go through the points kind of one by one. The very first place to you know, to look is to hide your troops in your shelter. So you can see my shelter capacity is 975,000, but then once I click on my lord will actually add in there more troops, so it'll be actually 986,000. Now I don't use Jean as my lord when I'm fighting. I technically am going to use Seg as my lord. So this would actually change a little bit, but just for the sake of argument now, we're just going to say that 986 is my max. And the next thing that you want to look at is your base army size and the maximum number of deployments. So for those, you want to click on your lord up here, go into your details of your army, get the scroll bar, go the whole way to the bottom, then scroll up ever so slightly. You'll come into this marching enhancement area, and you'll see that, well, actually mine is I have a 50% on right now because we were going to talk about that later. But so my maximum is around 550,000. With a 50% bonus, I get it's 830,000. And you can see your deployments here is a maximum of 8, and that's what I have. So I think everybody knows how many deployments they have, but just to give you an example, that's what mine is. And then the army size, like I said, is about 553,000. And then with a 50% buff, you have 830,000. The next point I wanted to make is so you're going to have the 8. You have 8 deployments. I have 8 deployments. So I want to use 7 of those deployments. And the reason I'm only using 7 is because I want to have that extra deployment available if I need it for something. So I could zero out using all 8 deployments if I wanted to, but that doesn't leave you any wiggle room whatsoever. So if you are getting attacked or soloed, then if you have just that one deployment, it's going to get you're going to have to play with it. You'll have to you know, you'll have to push it around a little bit if you don't have an extra place to hide it, and plus it'll give you one less priority to hide as well. But so to figure that out, we want to go into the military grounds. You go to configure your army, and then you have all your configures here. And I go in and check out your armies, your commanders in here, and you can see how many troops they actually bring along with you. So what I did is I went through the ones I left the main commanders, my main formation out of it, and the reason I did that is because I'm going to be using this to attack. So I'm probably not going to be hiding those commanders. I'll be hiding my lord in my shelter, and then the other 4 commanders, I want them free because I want to be able to use them whenever I need them. I would actually suggest not using the other lords as well. So if we come back to this screen, you can see all the other lords that I have in here. I would suggest not using any of these as your garrison commanders, because you may have to switch. You know, if you're fighting, you may have to switch like a cav formation or a spear in formation. So you might want to throw Hector in there instead of like I have Barrett in there too, because he's being a frontline the infantry spear. So you're going to want to be able to switch them around. So I would suggest not having any of these commanders in there. For my example, I think I added a couple of them, so we'll just have to bear with me on that. So we'll go in here and take a look, and as we do, what I did initially, because with the Awakened commanders, even if they're not even upgraded, you still get, well, if they're upgraded, they're upgraded to level 9, then you can get them to 15,000, because obviously you can see Chris here is at 10, and he's getting 21,000 like his Seg, but I can get 15,000 there. So I went through and I counted all the 15,000s that I had through each one of these. I'm not going to do it now, but I'll show you later, and add that all together. And then after you're finished with those, then you're going to add up some of the 11,000s as well, or the rest is 11,000s as well. So you're going to need 7 of those together, 7 times 5 is going to be 35 commanders. So you have 35 total of your commanders that you're going to be using for those extra troops that go on to each one of those garrisons that you send out. And last but not least, what I mentioned before was the army size. So one of the biggest things which one thing you're going to have to do, especially as a zero castle when you're fighting, is you're going to use one of these army size buffs. I used a 50% buff here. Many people think that, oh, I can fight with maybe a 75% or something like that, but if you try to do that, you're going to use a lot of them. I mean, these are the things you're going to use a lot of, and the 50% are the ones that are the most available, and the 20% of course, but 20%, it's tough to fight with the 20% because it's not really increasing your army size significantly enough. Even the 50% is obviously, it's 2.5 times that. So you're going to want the 50%. I don't have a whole lot of them here, but you can purchase them easily. The VIP shop, just every day you can purchase them, and then maybe you want to fight once a week. Maybe you want to fight more than that, depending on how your kingdom is. But it's fighting it can become very expensive, especially if you're not very well versed in it. But as you can see, this is the 50%, I believe, is the best one. Get it in the VIP shop every day. If you need to buy any more of them, you can buy them at full price for 5,000 diamonds, blue diamonds. In the Elite Trials, Elite Trials shop, that's where you get the 75%ers. I get that every time, and I try to use these during the events where I'm actually going to have a chance to lose troops, because I want to have as strong an army as I possibly can. So just making sure that you're considering having those considerations.